what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Candy. I'm a mom to 5. On my channel, I share homeschooling, homesteading, gardening, day in the life, what's for dinner, canning, grocery hauls, all kinds of fun stuff. Today I have a what's for dinner video for you guys. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys several meals that we have eaten lately. We aren't like a fancy Pinterest family. We're a family of 7. My kids eat a lot, so I make a lot of food. So we're gonna jump into this. I'm gonna show you guys these meals we made. I'm just trying to keep people fed, happy, and healthy. So let's jump right into it. The first meal I'm gonna show you guys is Big Mac Sloppy Joes. These are my kids' favorite way to eat Sloppy Joes. And when I make these, I have to use quite a bit. I made 3 pounds of ground beef for these, but let's jump into it and talk about how we made them. I usually make my own Thousand Island dressing for these, which I'm showing you guys here, and I will link in the description box below. But you could completely use a bottle of Thousand Island dressing in this, and it'll work out just the same. But I made a double batch of Thousand Island dressing, and like I said, I'll link a recipe. I did half of this into my 3 pounds of ground beef, and I saved the other half for anybody that wanted to add it for some topping on their Big Mac Sloppy Joes. So now I'm browning 3 pounds of ground beef with half a chopped onion and a good hefty tablespoon of minced garlic. I'm going to drain the grease from this when it's done cooking. I added, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 cup of dill pickle relish. And then I turned this off because I completely forgot that I needed to make a side to go with dinner. I don't know, I just completely spaced it. But I decided to make some potato wedges, and so for those I went ahead and boiled some potatoes that I had cut up into wedges and cooked them till they were pretty close to done, and then I took them out, drained them, added olive oil and all of these spices, which I could have mixed in a bowl and then put over them, but I didn't. I just sprinkled it over them so I wouldn't have to use another bowl and make more dishes. So I sprinkled these all over the top of my wedges, put them in the oven at 450 until they were golden brown, and then I went back to making my Sloppy Joes. I used 2 cups of shredded cheese in these. I usually use just whatever I have on hand. This time it happens to be Munster, but I added 2 cups of shredded cheese to this, stirred it around, and then I added half of my Thousand Island dressing, and our Sloppy Joes are ready to serve. We toast our buns for these, and then if anybody wants lettuce, tomato, or pickles, they can add it. And if they want extra Thousand Island dressing, they can have that as well. So this is our Big Mac Sloppy Joes tonight. The next meal I'm going to share with you guys is pork roast with white potatoes, sweet potatoes, spaghetti squash, and a spring salad. Clearly, my first mistake was thinking this pork shoulder off of one of the pigs that we butchered was going to fit in my 10-quart crock pot. It did not. So I got out my turkey roaster, put it in there with some potatoes, some sweet potatoes, spaghetti squash, and then I added some ranch seasoning, some gravy packet, butter, and pepperoncini peppers. I let this cook all day at 250, and here it is finished, and as you can see, it is super tender. And then I threw together a spring mix to go with it, and that was our super easy dinner tonight. And it was super low effort, and there's lots of different veggie options, so it was a fantastic dinner. The next dinner I made was Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, Brussels sprouts, and peas. For this dinner, I had some ground beef. There's about 2 pounds of it here, and I'm just seasoning it up with this black and tan seasoning, which is like salt, pepper, garlic, and rosemary, basically, a few other things. But I just wanted to do this pretty quickly and get it cooking, so I just seasoned it with that, mixed it up, made patties, browned them off, and I put them into a roaster pan. And then now I'm cutting up all my mushrooms so that I can make up some gravy to go over these. Normally I would just boil some water, add black pepper, onion powder, and then some Better Than Bouillon beef and a cornstarch slurry to make my gravy. But tonight I wanted to do just something quick and easy, so I used some Kinder's gravy and au jus packets, mixed them up, but I did do a little less water than it called for because I know that there's going to be liquid that comes out of the beef patties when they are in the oven, and I don't want my gravy to be too runny, so I made it a little thicker than what the actual recipe called for, and put this over the top of my browned Salisbury steak patties, and put these in the oven at 350 for about 20-25 minutes, and we ended up with some super delicious Salisbury steak. go with the Salisbury steak, we have some peas, and then over here I have some butter, soy sauce, honey, and garlic, and a little bit of ginger paste. I am just getting this heated up. I went ahead and put 2 bags of frozen Brussels sprouts in the microwave on the steamer setting just to make this go quicker. And I'm going to add them to this after they're done steaming and just let them simmer in it for a minute. And then in my Instant Pot, I cooked some red potatoes. I moved them to this pan to mash them and added a little bit of cream cheese, butter, and milk to them. And this is going to be our dinner tonight. Today we're super busy. We have errands to run, yard work to do, all kinds of stuff. So smoked chicken is going to be dinner tonight. I use this Head Country seasoning on a whole bunch of leg quarters, and James and I are kind of tag teaming, running out and doing some errands. So when one of us is here watching it at all times, we're just putting more wood on it as we need it. But I'm adding some barbecue sauce to these, about the halfway point of smoking them. And I'm going to use my basting brush, brush it over the top of them, and let them finish cooking. And then while I was out running errands, I picked up some macaroni salad, potato salad, and beans to go with these, just for some quick and easy sides. Because like I said, it's been a busy day and we still want a nice homemade fresh dinner. But sometimes easy sides are just like a wonderful thing to have. We had a little bit of potato salad left from one meal, but then we opened up some more. We have macaroni salad, we have beans, we have some strawberries, and our chicken. Dinner tonight is enchiladas, refried beans, and rice. I cooked chicken thighs in my slow cooker all day, and I just took them out, shredded them up, and to those I'm adding chili powder, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and gonna get that all mixed up. And then over here I have green sauce, and red sauce so that I can get these shaped and into pans. And here is my mixture. I also added several cups of shredded cheese. So those are green chili and onion. And the chicken mixture, those are just red with the chicken mixture and green with the chicken mixture. And then I added the quesadilla cheese on top to get those in the oven. And then I added 2 Sazon packets to my 3 cups of water here. And I'm going to use that to cook a bag of yellow rice. Here is our finished green enchiladas. And then this is the red enchiladas. And then I also have my little pan of mini enchiladas, of course. And here is our finished rice. And I went ahead and took out 2 pints of refried beans and heated those up as well. For dinner on this night, we had chicken wings 2 ways, fries 2 ways, and then some of us also had salad on the side. So some of us are not eating fried food, so I wanted to make sure we still had the option of wings and fries, but not deep fried. These are marinated wings from the Hispanic store we go to in town, but I just dip them in flour like this, shake it off, and deep fry them, or I leave them unbreaded and air fry them. And then I also air fried some sweet potato fries, and I deep fried some regular white russet potatoes. So here is our dinner tonight. We have watermelon, we have the fried chicken wings, and then we have our French fries 2 ways, and these are the air fried wings. Honestly, every time I air fry them, it seems like more kids want them air fried than not, and I think we may eventually not even be frying the wings, except maybe for James, because all of the kids are saying that air fried taste way better flavor wise. Dinner on this night was chicken and dumplings, and for these ones, I actually used some of my home canned chicken thighs because I didn't take anything out for dinner this night. It just kind of slipped my mind. Now it's like 3:30 and James just got home from work and I needed a dinner plan. So I used a quart of chicken that I had canned a few months ago, and I just dumped it into my big pot. I added several quarts of turkey broth that I had canned as well. And then to this, I added mixed vegetables, potatoes, carrots, onion powder, poultry seasoning, and black pepper and some salt. And I just let this simmer for a good hour and went out for a walk and checked on my greenhouse and watered my plants and stuff before I came back in to make the dumplings. I forgot to film making of the dumplings, but I just dumped the ingredients in my KitchenAid mixer and mix them up, and then just drop them by spoonfuls into my dumplings and let them cook for 8 minutes, and then they're big and fluffy and done. But I will link a recipe in the description box below for how I make my dumplings. But again, it's just like 5 ingredients in my KitchenAid. Mix it until it's a good thick dough, and then, like I said, I just from there drop it in my water or my broth. I should have added more broth to this because my dumplings honestly absorbed a ton of it, and it made our chicken and dumplings really thick, but everybody still really enjoyed them and they ate almost the whole pot. On this night, dinner was chicken chunks, a bacon ranch pasta salad, and peas. For my batter for my chicken chunks, I have flour, I have Cajun seasoning, paprika, turmeric, and chili flakes, salt, and pepper. And I'm just going to whisk this up and get it all mixed up. And then in another bowl, I have milk and egg. I just chunked up my chicken into kind of good sized cubes. And I'm going to dip it in the milk and egg, and then the flour into the milk and egg, and back into the flour, and fry them. Earlier in the day, I made up a boxed bacon ranch pasta salad and just threw it in the fridge, and then I just heated up some peas, and this was just an easy dinner after a busy day. This is a very busy dinner because I could not decide what I wanted. I kind of really wanted beans. The kids kind of really wanted meatloaf. And so this ended up a huge dinner. But for starters, I put a ham hock into my Instant Pot with 3 cups of beans and 6 cups of water. And I let that cook for an hour. And then over here, I started out some meatloaf with turkey and ground beef. I added some sofrito, some crushed up pork rinds, garlic, and 2 eggs. And I'm just going to get this all mixed up and shape it into our meatloaf. here is the finished meatloaf. And then this is a turkey meatloaf. I made the same way, but just with half a pound of turkey. And I popped those in the oven. And then towards the end, I used some of this Memphis barbecue and some brown sugar to sweeten it up because we are out of ketchup. And this is going to be our topper for our meatloaf tonight. And honestly, I think they liked it more than ketchup because they gave me so many compliments on this meatloaf. So I think I will definitely do this again with the barbecue instead of ketchup. For my little turkey meatloaf, I did some Kansas City barbecue and this very, very teriyaki for just a different spin on meatloaf. And then I took as much meat as I could off of my ham hock and put it back into the beans. And I gave my ham bone to George because George could smell it cooking and he was in heaven with it. But here is my beans. I'm just going to season these and taste them and see how I like them. But I added Cajun seasoning, some onion powder, and a bay leaf to those. And then I made up some red skin mashed potatoes. I threw together some mushroom gravy real quick with better than bouillon, onion powder, black pepper, a cornstarch slurry, and some canned mushrooms. I steamed up some broccoli, and here is my beans. They got really thick. Yeah, and then we have our meatloaf with the barbecue mixture on top and our meatloaf with the teriyaki mixture on top. And then just for fun, I went ahead and decided to make up a packet of a Mexican cornbread that I had in the cabinet and made a super thin cornbread, but we ate it anyway. So this was dinner tonight. So I hope these meals gave you some ideas or some encouragement, or maybe made you think of something you hadn't eaten in a while that maybe you want to make soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I cannot thank you guys enough for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to chat, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.